All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about why Elliott Wave works. And I get told all the time that Elliott Wave doesn't work, that it's easy to put in the labels after the waves are in place, that you always adjust the count to make yourself sound right, or you always give an up or a down path, and there's no way to use it. And that's just false. And all of that, or a lot of that, comes from a lack of education, and then the just general confusion on why it works and how it works. And when we don't understand something, we are quick as a society to throw up our hands and say, it doesn't work. And that's just kind of a lazy way to look at things. If you really took the time to understand Elliott Wave, you would see that it's rooted in technical analysis that almost everyone who does technical analysis uses. So let's look at what that means. We're going to talk about a couple wave counts, and the first one is our impulsive wave, and that just means 5 waves. But it does mean it's on trend, which means that is the direction. And I almost always draw mine up and to the right, or in a bullish formation. And the reason for that is the stock market is designed to go up and to the right. And what I mean by that is we invest in companies, and companies are driven by their stockholders, they're driven by growth, they're driven by their products, and they want to excel and they want to get better. Now, do all of them do that? Of course not. But a great majority of them do, some better than others. Some of them mire for a while, like Apple, before they come out with the iPhone and absolutely destroy the market. Amazon was worth $1 and, went on to become one of the biggest stocks there is. So there's a lot of different ways that companies grow, different times that they grow, different growth periods that they're in. Some of them are growth stocks. Some of them are more hold stocks where they pay a good dividend and they don't go up or down that much. But the whole idea is that we're investing in something that makes money and goes up and builds 401ks. And the market has never failed to make a new all-time high after any crash we've ever seen, no matter how big. And that will remain true because that is the whole idea, barring some sort of end-of-the-world event, a nuclear war, Wall Street gets, heaven forbid, blown up, something bad happens, whatever. That should always be the case. I won't say it will always be the case, but it should always be the case that the market goes up and to the right. So that's why I draw all my stuff in a bullish posture. Obviously, this does work in a bearish posture as well, so it's just the same thing to the downside. Now, from the bullish standpoint, we got an impulsive wave, and that's a 5-wave move. All impulsive means is 5 waves. So we're looking for a wave 1 up, then a wave 2, then a longer wave 3, 4, and 5. Now, we'll get in depth on this later in the series on how all these waves work, what their parameters are, what we're looking for, how we figure them out. But after that, you look for an ABC, which is a correction. So after all moves up, we get a little bit of a pullback, then we move up again. So we move up, then we come down in an A, B, C to the downside. Well, what just happened was, and this is an Elliott wave, a standard Elliott wave cycle right here. And what just happened was you got a shoulder, you got a head, and you got a shoulder, and the C wave follows through. C waves are always very strong. You'll see that in the training. This is what you're looking at is a head and shoulders pattern. This is basic technical analysis stuff. And it naturally occurs in Elliott wave because that's why it works. Head and shoulders are a pattern that people follow all the time. And do they follow through every single time? Of course not. There are adjustments and things that need to happen, but generally, it's a very solid trading pattern. When that is done, we look for another 5-wave pattern to the upside to resume the trend. So we get a pullback, and we get a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what just happened on the bottom? Well, you got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. And now you've got an inverted head and shoulders pattern that fires in a wave 3 to the upside, and that's when it really takes off. That's the wave that you're really looking for to take off is wave 3. Same thing on the downside, wave 3 of C. Again, we get into all this training later on. But this, again, is an inverted head and shoulders pattern that naturally occurs. Now, very often, wave 4s, pull back and away. So I'm going to draw this one freehand without the numbers. But let's say that we are getting a wave 3 up. Okay, and wave 3s are very powerful waves. A lot of times you can see a wave 4 triangle here. Okay? What pattern is that? That's a bull flag. Well, we see a bull flag and we see a breakout in wave 5. We also see this after wave 1. Now, you won't see a triangle in wave 2 because they don't come in triangles, but you see a pullback, and then you see a breakout back to the upside. Very often, this is a bull flag pattern that plays out, and it happens naturally in Elliott Wave. So these things are rooted in technical analysis. The beauty of Elliott is that he was able to figure out how to kind of measure the targets, how to understand when they were topping and why, how to understand how deep the pullback should be, and that's where we get the ability to kind of predict where the market's heading and why. And so to put this in a real-time kind of view, I want to point out one thing I said in the beginning. A lot of people tell me it's easy to label the waves when they're already in place. Well, yes, it is. That's typically not what we do in Elliott Wave, but we do adjust to make sure that we're getting the right count and following the path right and getting the right targets. But I'm going to put something up on the screen here. And as you look at this screenshot, this is from a video I did on the 12th of October of 2022. So almost 6 months ago from when this video is being recorded right now, or a little over 6 months ago. And you'll see that we were down around 3,600. And if you go and watch that video on my YouTube channel, you'll see that I say we should be bottoming in the 3,450 range. We got down to 3,500. And then I have that ABC on the chart that points us to 4,300. And I was laughed at and mocked and told that that was insane and crazy. And there's a lot of reasons that that was going to happen, in my opinion. And most of them were Elliott Wave. And so as you look at this screen, you see where it is right now. So let's look at what actually happened from that time in October until now. I haven't changed this ABC and this bigger circle B from that screenshot. That screenshot showed us going towards 4,300 in an ABC pattern. We have an A wave up, a B wave down. We're in that C wave up towards 4,300. Now, I didn't put these in place after the waves were there. I put them in place 6 months before the waves appeared, and they didn't move. And this is all based on understanding market dynamics in Elliott Wave. So one other concept to understand is you can only sell so far before there are no more people to sell to. In other words, the buyers go away. So what happens? Well, you get a squeeze or you get a retrace, in this case a bounce. And that bounce targeted the 618 retrace because Elliott understands where those targets are and where we should be going, and the 618 retrace is 4310. This is on the futures chart, by the way. And so when you're looking at this and you can understand those things 6 months in advance, it's a huge advantage to have over the field. Now, was it guaranteed we were going to 4310? Nothing is guaranteed. We still haven't gotten to 4310, but we've traced out most of the pattern. I would say that it's safe to say my assessment was correct. But we also know where the failure points are. We know when this doesn't play out. Okay? So when you start going through this course, understand that everything we talk about, the pivot, wave threes, targets, all of that stuff is rooted in technical analysis. It's rooted in naturally occurring technical analysis and how it works. And it's very powerful for understanding, especially the big picture. The last thing I'll leave you with is this. When people tell me it's easy to update the waves when they're already in place, they're talking about the smaller counts. These macro counts we have in place for months at a time, and they hit very often in Elliott Wave, very often. It's rare that we miss targets in Elliott Wave just completely. Do we come up short sometimes on targets? Could they stop short of 4,300 here? Of course. But we also started at 3,500, an 800-point rally we knew 6 months ahead of time. So these things are really powerful, but how we get to these big pictures in the micro count, okay? So how did we get to wave A? Well, it's an ABC, and you'll see how that breaks down later in training. But each wave is to be determined. They can take on various shapes and structures and corrective waves, and so we always have to be able to adjust on the fly in the small term. In the short term, yes, we do have to adjust counts because it's happening in real time on how we got from this low to this high. Okay? They can take on diagonal shapes. They can have triangles in there. There's all kinds of different things. This happened to be a running flat B wave, which is a little bit different. Okay? So how we get from here to here, we know should be basically a move up, a pullback, a move up. But the insides of that that's where it gets really tough, and that's where sometimes Elliott Wave can struggle, is in the micro count. I talk about it all the time. No indicator is perfect, including Elliott Wave, but this is why it works, especially in the big picture. Okay? When people said COVID was the end, I said we're getting ready to start a big rally, and the reason was Elliott Wave. So before we ever knew we were going to 4,800, Elliott Wave was predicting it. And so that's the kind of stuff we're looking for and using Elliott Wave for, is the macro counts to understand the big picture. So if you can understand that and take that piece of advice into the training, that the big picture matters way more than the micro count, the little day-to-day stuff, that is where the money is made.